Police here in the German capital, Berlin, have come up against anti-lockdown protesters. Hundreds of people took part in marches in the city despite a court order banning such gatherings. Police in riot gear used pepper spray and physical force in an attempt to break up the demonstrations. They've also detained a number of people. The protests against coronavirus lockdowns in Germany have attracted a mix of groups, including anti-vaccination activists, conspiracy theorists, and the far right. DW's Thomas Sparrow is at the Brandenburg Gate in the heart of Berlin, where the original protest was due to end. Thomas, what's the situation there on the ground?
Well, the situation here is very diverse. It has been tense throughout the day, but unlike previous protests of this type, there hasn't been one centralized protest here. We've been across different districts of Berlin, and you have seen pockets of protests there that the police have tried to disband. But in general, there hasn't been that one very big protest that maybe the organizers had expected right here at the heart of Berlin. I spoke earlier with police spokespeople who said that over 2,000 police officers were on duty and that their main matter of concern, their main goal today was precisely to try and disband those protests or the groups of people who were actually coming here, despite the fact that these protests had been banned in advance out of concern for a possible increase in the number of coronavirus infections, and also because police consider that many of the people who normally take part in these protests do not respect some of those coronavirus restrictions, like wearing masks or observing social distance.
And what exactly are these people unhappy about?
This is a very, very diverse group of people. One of their main issues is actually anti-coronavirus lockdown. But as you mentioned yourself in your introduction, there's also anti-vaxxers here. There are people who also, for example, dislike science or normal medicine. What unites them all, and that is something that has been said on various studies and reports on this, is the fact that they are anti-establishment. They are anti, for example, traditional parties, anti-science, anti-traditional media. And that is something that has united all these people here. I've been to various of these protests in the past few months, and you can clearly see that it's a very diverse group of people with very diverse goals, but in general, they're against the system as we know it here in Germany.
But the lockdowns and restrictions are being eased. So is this having any effect on this movement?
You could argue certainly that this movement is losing steam as lockdowns are eased, as the corona situation has improved in the last few months. But as I stressed earlier, one of the main components here is that it's not entirely based on the coronavirus pandemic. It is one of the main important points, but it is not the only one. So there are other views, other analyses that point to the fact that this is a group that could develop even after the coronavirus pandemic ends.
Right. DW's Thomas Sparrow reporting from the heart of Berlin. Thank you.